Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Casco and I'm here to talk to you about creative media. Creative media is a BTEC course that you can start in year 9. The course itself is split up of 2 components. So the first thing we kind of do is learn how to identify different types of media products, and those products occupy different media sectors. Those 3 sectors being audio, moving image. The second sector we look at is print and publishing, and the third sector being the interactive media sector. Now, having looked at those different sectors and kind of building our ability to recognize and distinguish between those sectors, we then start to look at things like audience. And we look at how we categorize those audiences, how those audiences are affected, and the behaviors that they exhibit. Right? And this, of course, feeds into the purpose, why media products are created. So once we understand audiences, we then can go on and look at why media products are produced and who they're produced for, quite specifically. And we also look at the different kind of research and ideas that have come about as a result of studying different audience behaviors and different production patterns. The coursework itself is a kind of a deep dive into one particular media franchise, a multimedia franchise. So you yourself get the chance to choose any multimedia franchise that you deem fit. And you get to take that media franchise and do a case study on said franchise. Now, that can be any number of different kind of franchises. It doesn't have to be one that is centered around movies, but it would have to have produced some kind of moving image for some purpose. But you could take something like a video game series, say like Pokemon, for example. You know, Pokemon as a franchise produces video games. It also produces movies, TV shows, comic books, merchandise, toys, you name it, because it's multimedia. Similarly, you might pick a Disney franchise, something like Aladdin, for example. Aladdin historically has had video games. Obviously, it's had more than one movie, a feature-length movie. It also had a TV show that ran in the 90s. It's had comic books, and it's had its fair share of merchandise as well. So, you know, anything you can really think of that suits that profile. Once you have those kind of skills, once we have those skills under our belt, we then move on to component 2. And component 2 is developing media, digital media pre-production skills. Now, this is more of a practical component. When we look at component 2, this is less of us looking at what other people made, and it's more of us looking at what we will create. Okay. Now, here we have the example of creating a video, okay, a film, a short film. In the past, we have done things like creating web pages, creating animations, for example, for web pages. Or first of all, we learn how to employ media techniques, okay, and understand what those effects are on the audience, and communication tools, really visual communication tools, that allow us to recognize what is being communicated, allows us to use these codes and conventions in order to bring about a desired effect or the audience watching the product. Those 2 components going together make up the entirety of the course. So there is a large practical element and a large practical project to go along with the analytical and written theoretical section of or component of the course as well. Now, Obviously, along the way, we have to do a lot of analyzing ourselves and applying theory. We end up watching a lot of video, we end up looking at a lot of examples, a lot of books, a lot of comic books, a lot of magazines. We look at video games, we look at websites, interactive products, apps. So we do have a lot of media consumption in our lessons, and we do have a lot of discussion as well, sharing of ideas, takes and analysis and responses, reactions even to different types of media products, in order to really kind of get to grips with the various different media theories we are asked to engage with. Now it's a lot of fun. I'm sure you've probably gone past lessons or some of my lessons where we are watching movie clips and rewatching movie clips and having heated debates about which films or which scenes or which techniques are more effective. It is a very interesting and dynamic course. You get to do a lot of different things. We get to look at a lot of different things, and oftentimes students on the course are quite confident with the subject matter, because obviously we are all media consumers to one degree or another. Creative media is a really interesting course. It is something that most people, if you ask them, are taking the course, will highly recommend and really do enjoy. So yeah, do consider it, and I hope to see some of you guys next year.